Welcome to the live stream. My name is Hans. I'm simply dude on the internet. And none of this is financial advice, because I know nothing, and you will lose money listening to me. So I'm going to open up a few tabs here while we wait for people to roll in. Let's put up the BTC chart. What's up, UFO? UFO to go. Red Squirrel, wait. So we actually have a little W forming here on Bolster and on the hourly. There's a little bit degen going on such short time frames. Anyway, here on the macro, I mean BTC on even on the monthly here, it's very high, right? What we all should be wishing for is a rather good pullback to reset all these indicators. Let's go to the weekly. It's like very, very oversold on these indicators. I mean, I would love for them to reset. That can be done by just moving sideways here for at least a few months, or just reset down. And this will obviously take all of the altcoins with it. So these are higher lows or lower highs forming here. Right? If BTC closes these candles below here. Indicator is getting nice and reset on the daily, but it can definitely go a lot more. It's fine, let's move sideways here. More of a pullback. I'm not quite sure what you mean there. But we'll get to what USD is, or what PulseChain is doing. Tether dominance. Man, I really remember looking at this all the way at the highs here. So when this goes lower, the crypto market rallies higher, right? And this is the weekly chart. We've seen how this is played out, like how the meme season Bitcoin has been rallying higher. But this is trying to bottom here. Not only that, the indicators are, I mean, they haven't shown a buy signal like this in a long time. Or it's probably not a buy signal, but hasn't been this reset or oversold, dare I say. Nice little W forming there. So if this reverses, obviously, that means down for crypto. And it's come a long way. Let's look at what the monthly is doing. I mean, the monthly is very low. The monthly has never been this low. So it's at least a duo bounce, right? That takes us to what Bitcoin dominance. I mean, we can go to shorter time frames, I guess, on that. I mean, it's probably on the shorter time frames almost ready to reverse. Yeah, look at that perfect W there. And as soon as this closes here, this is going to put a lot of pressure on Bitcoin. And if we want to go more macro, oil is rallying hard, right? Really breaking out here of long-term downtrends. And this puts pressure on traditional stocks and whatever, right? And also bonds are going lower, which puts, I know that's boring stuff, but anyway, so the macro also looks like it's kind of reversing here. Once oil gets above $77, it spells trouble for stocks. Pretty much everything needs oil to get transported, right? The vast, well, let's say the majority of our products use oil, including plastics, right? So yeah, this is also putting pressure, and this is a large bottoming pattern here on the daily. So yeah, this is overall a sell-off. It's not just in our ecosystem, right? You can see with this reversing here, maybe finding a bottom US Tether, USDT Tether, Tether dominance. Tether dominance shows how much of the market dominance or the market share Tether holds. And if it's increasing, people are obviously selling other assets to go into it. So that's bearish for us. Now the BTC dominance, this looks like it's looking to break out again higher. And we need this to drop. And now definitely there are some altcoins that will outperform while this is all happening. But most of them, it looks like, wants to go lower here. Because this is rallying higher. ETH. We're pretty much correlated to what ETH is doing. And this doesn't look good. I mean, this is ETH versus BTC on the weekly. Let's go to the monthly. I mean, it's getting real nice and low here. But look what it did last cycle. It spent a lot of time here moving sideways, which is fine. We could have bottomed here, and we're now starting to move sideways. This is very high to have found its bottom here. This is very powerful versus BTC, or it's just like if it just continues doing this and going lower, that won't be fun. We're just above the reload zone. Like this is like a magnet. And this ETH BTC ratio will give us an indication of when things will turn around. So I don't know if we go there, right? But this will then on the monthly get extremely low. But either way, this is definitely where you would be rotating some of your BTC to ETH if you're in that trade. Now, I'm not doing it, I'm just looking at that trade. Or you can wait for the 61 to be hit and dabble there. Let's not get too thick into the weeds here. Either way, these things are all relevant to us. The dollar is not telling us much. The other dominance. I mean, this looks like also like it needs a correction, right? The other is crypto market cap excluding the top 10 dominance. So everything below the top 10. So your shitcoins. I mean, this is a perfect double top here. Okay, let's get into what PulseChain is doing. So none of those indicators have printed yet. If you just look at this weekly chart or this monthly chart, what am I saying? You can see good market structure, that's bullish market structure, higher highs and higher lows. That's broken out. It's normal for these to get retested, and that would still be healthy for it to be retested. I don't know if that's going to be happening. That's at 6K. But if you then zoom out here, this is also then a larger one, right? A larger market structure or a W forming here with higher lows and a higher high. And once this closes above this level, which is at 50% above SAC rate or 1,500, I mean, that's, you know, open skies above there. So that is what we would like to see, right? Something like that. So that's the monthly. That's your macro view here. Let's go to the weekly. So those indicators on the monthly haven't printed. On the weekly here, we can see the RSI and the stochastic here. Let's even put on the MACD, the classic 3. This is actually now rotating across the bearish, the MACD, where the stochastic is finally coming down. It spent like all of its life that it's printed up here, which is good. It's finally breaking down. And this moves quickly. So if we can consolidate here for a few weeks, even sideways, or maybe even down a little bit, we can get to this stochastic to reset all the way. The MACD tends to be a little bit quicker, so this concerns me that it's only crossed bearish now. But it has printed some red candles. The histogram is pretty much reset completely. So this needed to happen, right? The stochastic printed up here, and it did concern me for a long time. Let's go to the 3-day. I mean, the 3-day, the indicators haven't been this low in a very, very long time. The stochastic RSI is literally on the floor. The histogram on the MACD has never been this low. The RSI is at 41. The last time we were at 41 was, I mean, yeah, literally back here. So that's all of hidden bullish divergences, which is all good. And the trend is higher. So yeah, so there's lots of bullish signs. All of these indicators has been reset, right? That's all positive signs to see on the chart. Now the daily, the RSI not oversold yet, but we haven't been this low for also again for a very long time. Haven't been consolidating, yeah, since back here, which was in September of last year. On the histogram, there's bullish divergences. It's this is the daily. It's about to cross bullish. Maybe a few more days, not about. But if we are to get bullish price action across the night here, overnight here, this will cross bullish. In fact, lots of bullish divergences here on the MACD. Now we're on the daily scale and on the stochastic, and it doesn't look like it is on the RSI though. The RSI is the slower moving one of all of these. So, but we don't have a W yet. If you were to be a trader, if you were to trade this, so if you were to be a trader, we have indicator confirmation because we have bullish divergences, but now we need market structure. You need to see a W on the chart. Now, to use the line chart is better, and we don't have a W. We need to have higher lows for a W to be valid, so something like that. Right, and there's your W confirmed. So you can see on the shorter time frames on the daily here, it's starting to get bullish, right? Whereas, yeah, so definitely it's getting close to the bottom and starting to move sideways here. And I mean, we don't have to go lower, right? The 12-hourly will probably just show bullish divergences on every single indicator, and it's just a matter of time. It just needs to make a little W, and off it goes. So on the 12-hourly, something like that, and that's the confirmation there. But divergences can take a long time to play out, so. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I mean, I've loved to take a look at all the ratios. We can get to everything, but just so Pulse X is at its 78.6 level. Let's pull up the stochastic here. So yeah, it looks a lot the same like Pulse chain. 3-day also reset nicely. The RSI, it looks the same. Whereas just a little bit deeper, where this is not the 78.6 level, this is. So it does look like we're a little bit deeper. Now this is the USD pairing. That is your doubly breakout level. We can look for these levels to be retested, and they will still be bullish. So, I mean, these corrections are very healthy, although they don't feel great. They are. It's what we've been needing for a while. I mean, look at this weekly. Anyway. Yeah, so let's take a look at what the ratios are telling us. Yeah, so finally coming down here, it's been a very, very good run for PLSX versus its PLS ratio. Clear bearish divergences that were on the 3-day. The weekly not telling us much. Either way, this is where we can buy PLSX here for our PLS. It was expensive here. The granny would have been selling her buys. Probably not. Yeah, if she bought the lows here, she would have gotten a double, but she would have been nibbling very, very low. Or had to be getting it very cheaply. So yeah, finally coming down on the 3-day, nice and low as well. Let's see what the daily is telling us. Nothing much. It's gonna need a little bit more time here to move sideways, or sideways at least, and then a lot lower, hopefully. The X ratios. Yeah, man, really getting very, very cheap here, even on USD. So these are the last support levels that I've drawn in the chart here. It really needs to start holding here. Let's pull up the indicators and see if we can see literally anything, and maybe a faster moving one. Yeah, like starting to get very low here on the weekly stochastic, so that's good to see. Check out the 3-day. 3-day is very, very low. But all of these are pretty much going to look the same on the whole ecosystem. So yeah. It's going to need time to move sideways here, at least. Maybe it's found its bottom. It can go lower, obviously. Let's look at the ratio of HEX to PLS. It still continues to hold on to this area here. It needs to hold here. It's the weekly telling us very low on the weekly. We're kind of getting there. It can go a lot lower, though. Not saying it is, but yeah, it needs to hold here. X has gotten very, very cheap versus its PLS ratio. There's some bullish divergences down there. It's been forming for a long time. Once again, it needs to move sideways, make some higher lows and higher highs. But once again, it's very cheap. I mean, if you wanted to get some here, this is where you should. You can even risk it to the bottom here as soon as you lose the bottom of this chart here at 71 PLS per hex. Then you can just leave the trade. Or risk very little and let it run to zero. But obviously that's just risk management, right? The incentive token. Really breaking down here now on the RSI or on the USD value. People are always think I'm crazy when I'm selling coins into PLS, taking profits. But this now shows you why, right? But this is actually held up respectively well. But then again, if it does want to do a full correction, it's got a lot more time to go, right? That's the 3-day, the RSI. Let's even pull up the stochastic so we can see a faster moving one here. It hasn't even started to break down here on the weekly, the 3-day. I should actually harvest my rewards today. 3 days only starting on all the indicators. It's gonna want to reset, and you're gonna want to see this reset happen if you want the price of this to go much higher in the future, right? The stronger the correction, or the deeper the correction, the higher you can move to the upside. So yeah, rinse them all out, like all of these weak-handed plebs that were buying the top here. Chasing the top. They're probably not weak hands, they're FOMO buyers. Chasers. So yeah, incentive token, it needs to come a lot lower before I'd be interested at all in buying some, right? Or even holding on to my positions, right? My farming positions, because I've been farming this from the start. Yeah, and the indicators are only starting to come down now. EX, I mean, those are bullish divergences on the weekly and on the 3-day as well. But this needs to start to form a bottom and start moving sideways if you want this to go higher. 2 hexes, just moving sideways here. And it looks like it's capitulated here, right? We can look at EX versus the PLS ratio. Guess this continues to bleed. It just looks like the EX and the hex chart just moving sideways here, holding on to the value of these ratios. I don't know if you guys want to look at Icosa. Yeah, I think that's enough for now. Let's get to your chat. Your chats. Ink back in the 9s would be nice. Ink back in the 9s? Yeah, but it looks to me like it wants to come a little bit lower. It's almost there. It's getting nice and low actually on the daily here. But it's got a lot more room. It needs, this is a low here. This was a new low that it's formed, so it needs to start making higher lows before we can get bullish at all. If you've got the time hunch, the PUSD chart that I looked showed some growth, kind of similar but slower than PDI. So it's breaking out, right? But isn't this... It doesn't even trade to the same. Interesting. Yeah, man. It looks a lot like PDI. It's just... Doesn't it trade the exact same as PDI though? 69? Yeah. It's big to do PDI, bro. Because you in the Maker protocol you can redeem them 1-for-1. Is PDI really rallying again here? Yeah, it actually did. $20 ink. Solid X is a beast. Yeah. It does well. I just want to know what the mechanics are. If this guy, because he's a shark, right? A hex shark, and he buy. I wonder if this is him buying up the price himself. This is weird volatility here. I would love to know what the strategy is here. Their liquidity strategy. Yeah, I don't know how high this goes. All I know is that as a granny, I mean, I got in at $6, $6.40, and I let everyone know about it. That's the thing. Like, I will make bearish tweets about something, and then I will still buy the coin afterwards, right? Don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it, right? So yeah, I got in this. I'm up a lot on it. And I probably knew that it was going to do that. I think I alluded to that in one of my tweets. But yeah, pretty much what I'm trying to say is like, I can't chase this. But that doesn't mean it can't go higher, right? It can just go on and continue to do a 10x from here. But if I was the granny, I would have to wait for a retrace. Let's see if you ever got a retrace to buy. Yeah, see, you got the retrace there, but you would have had to be quick. Maybe even had a limit order to catch that one, right? And then you had never a chance there. Yeah, and it's not giving you a chance yet, right? Yeah, it's just continuing to pump. But then again, I chased it here, right? Like I bought it at $6, and you can see that wasn't a valid entry. But there was another entry here. If you go out to really, really cheaper or lower time frames, you can see that that also gave you. So it's given you 2 chances already to enter at that level. So you just have to either be patient. Yeah, I don't know what you have to do with something like this. But I can't chase this. What's up, 8-bit? 8-bit. Could you take a look at PTGC? Such a tongue twister. I really need to move this chart up so I get actually take a look at it. Um, looks like a little W forming here. I should maybe just hurry and go buy some quickly. It's probably not even done a retracement yet versus PLS, yeah. It looks like it wants to go again. No. I've unfortunately missed it. It's never given me a retrace, so I would love to get some down here. But it looks good. You can see the market structure that formed here and just went higher. But I can't chase it up here. It's still in the nosebleed section. It's clear where my levels are. But that's a clear W. That's market structure for you to go higher. I don't know how high you're gonna go. It looks like it's gonna form another bearish divergence here, because it doesn't have a long more way to go, but this RSI has got a lot more room to catch up to these higher levels back here. Yeah, scrap that what I just said. This looks really good. But I can't get it. I need to wait, unfortunately, for these lower levels. R is pumping. XCH, that's like the Chia network. It's bounce of the 61.8. You should have been getting it here. You should have your limit orders here to buy some. This is a rounding bottom. This is the weekly scale. It's lots of value getting something here, right? Off the lows here. Perfect W there, larger W there. That's broken out and confirmed. You should buy this retest. It's going much higher in the future. You're looking at $700 in the bull market for Chia. Yeah, so that's everybody's request. Where is ZKZX? Let's look at ZKZX. And actually, so you just have to wait for a W to form, right? There's no W just yet. The RSI, it can go a lot lower. It's 92% down from the high, which is fine. You just, these coins, right, do these massive retracements. It's very normal. You can even look at Teddy Bear, right? Teddy Bear, and that is what you should wait for, right? Don't buy these highs. Wait for the lows, 93% down, right? ZKZX just has to move sideways here, create a W, and then it can go higher, right? Maybe wait for some market structure, some divergences, and then it can go higher, right? Just needs to get the weak hands out. These guys that bought the top, they're going to be very loud here, screaming. They need to get out so the price can go higher again. It's just how all markets work, right? Actly down 94%. Once again, the same story. It needs to find the bottom. It's got its low here. It needs to hold the low, make a W, then move sideways, right? That's all you need to do. And pretty much dig with BAT as well. On the daily chart, it's made a new low on the daily here. Same story. It needs to find its low. It needs to move sideways. The longer or the deeper the correction, the better, and the longer it moves sideways, even better. The higher the move to the upside will be. Right. And that is where grannies will be accumulating them. You just have to wait for the W to form on the chart. I don't know if you guys know about this coin, Gifford, but it's just continuing to go higher. I bought this literally at the start here, so you're pretty much chasing it here. But it's just going higher. I don't know if it's a bot buying this or what is going on. Like, but don't chase it here. I don't know what is going on with this coin. Like I threw like 100,000 pulse in that, and generally when I throw in 100,000 pulse, a small clip like that, it's generally something I randomly saw on Twitter. So yeah, I'm up a lot on that. It just continues going higher. I don't know how I heard about it or anything like that. Hard is another one, new one that recently launched. It's getting stuck here at the 2 million market cap. It seems like that's where many of the coins on Pulse Chain get stuck at, right at 2 million market cap. It's funny, you should check it out. You can see the market cap here. So this got up to 2.26 and just chilling here now. But once again, like chasing this up here, I know you guys want to chase it here, right? So that you guys love to buy green candles. It's high here, right? Why not wait for a pullback, a 61% pullback? And even if it goes higher, it's fine. It's just move it to price, then to Rapid Pulse. Even if it continues higher, you can see I'm continuing to readjust my fib tool. Wherever it goes to, if this is the top, that's fine, that's where I can buy. If it goes higher, I just readjust my fib tool. Could you take a look at Hocus Pocus? Bruce Willis launched this coin. Can you take a look at Hocus HOC? I think that's Hocus Pocus. 8 months old. Yeah, I mean, it's cheap. It's just not a lot of volume going on here. Not a lot of. I see some people talking about it every now and then. Either way, it's starting to get into value here, but it has a little bit more work to do. It needs to move sideways here and create like a little W or something. Like hold these lows. Yeah. Daily, it's very, very low on the RSI. But you can see this chart doesn't trade a lot of volume just by the way this chart is formed. Yeah, so I've got food to eat. I thought I would just go in and say hi to you guys. The charts are getting nice and reset. This is where you should be excited. DCA if you can. I did yesterday. The price is lower, which is fine. But this is where I'm allowed to buy, right? We are inside of the overall reload zone. Otherwise, I had to buy something else like Matic or something. I don't know. Or Cult. But here, PLS is in value. This is what we've been waiting for. Everybody loved it up here. Now everybody's crying. The eclipse season is almost coming to an end. And then we can hopefully go a little bit higher from there. But everything else, like we'd love for BTC to come a little bit lower, right? Because we wanted this cycle to last nice and long. I think that's enough said